Hey everybody! I know I've been gone forever, but hey, I'm kind of back. I'm still working like crazy on my PhD thesis to graduate, but I'm gonna try to be around a little bit more online. So the big news is that last weekend I went to BosCon, which is a book and science fiction convention up in Boston. And when I was there, I met up with a ton of amazing friends, both new and old, as well as Tui Sutherland, the author of Wings of Fire. So, of course, one of the biggest questions was about the Wings of Fire TV show. As a Wings of Fire fan, and I'm sure all of you guys, were totally crushed when Netflix canceled the Wings of Fire TV show last year in 2022. And the months just seem to have gone by with no light at all at the end of the tunnel. If you've been following my community posts, then you know I put out a little update about the Wings of Fire TV show recently and what is going on with it. And it is sadly this. Right now, Tui and the main showrunners are kind of in a wait-and-see mode. Unfortunately, they were hoping to pitch the TV show to HBO after Netflix dropped it, since HBO is owned by Warner Brothers, who are the, as we know, producers of the show. However, a lot of the distributors like Netflix, HBO, and Disney have been actually having a lot of financial troubles lately. So the Wings of Fire TV team are waiting to repitch until the financial stuff gets a little bit better for those companies. I actually got a recording of Tui talking about the Wings of Fire TV show, and I'll share that with you guys now. Sorry about the noise in the background. At the time, we were talking to Tui in a small group, but it was sort of in a large room with an art gallery in it, and a bunch of other people in the background, so there's a bit of background noise.
I mean, so what's interesting is actually that Warner Brothers owns the rights, and they're affiliated with HBO Max, but they're streaming service. So when Netflix shut things down, that was our first thought. Like my agent and I, we were like, well, wouldn't it make sense to turn it over to HBO Max? But I don't know how much you're following, but HBO Max is also in a bit of a crisis right now.
Yes, it gets like tons of
especially their animated stuff. And like they merged with Discovery, and like Discovery has been making all these weird changes. So basically, my agent and I are in this like wait and see sort of situation where we're like, TV seems to be going through like huge upheaval. Like all the streaming services are like, what are we doing? So waiting to let them sort of shake themselves out and then kind of trying again. I mean, Warner Brothers has the option, so they could keep doing the show whenever they decide where they want it to go. I have a feeling they're all just kind of running around like dealing with other crises. Like no one's really sitting and thinking about Wings of Fire right now.
Yeah. Is it like an indefinite license that they have?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the other thing. At some point, the rights come back to me.
Okay.
And the question is when, like, it's based on like how you interpret the contract. So.
Oh no.
I'm curious.
I was hoping there would be like a number, not like a.
Me too. And I thought I knew it. I thought I knew a date, and then my agent was like, "Well, debatable." So it's kind of a question mark.
Is Ava DuVernay still involved?
I think so, as far as I know, because like Warner Brothers signed her on. It wasn't Netflix that brought her on; it was Warner Brothers. But I haven't I've been in touch with the two showrunners, Dan and Krista, and I know they still really want to do it. They're kind of also waiting to hear what happens, and whether or not they're still attached based on what Warner Brothers says. So it might just be like a waiting game, and like let the TV thing hit. The other place that I think actually would be great is Disney Plus. Partly because I'm like, I want a Wings of Fire theme ride.
So yep, there you go. You heard it from Tui. It's sadly going to be a waiting game for the Wings of Fire TV show to be revived. It even looks like Disney is right now in too much financial trouble at the moment to pick up a new show like Wings of Fire. We did also ask Tui about the dream voice cast for her Wings of Fire TV show, and unfortunately I can't really share this with you because she said some things that she asked us not to share, but what she did say is that she made an ideal voice cast list for the audiobook because the audiobook readers needed to see how she imagined each character, but it was so long ago that she forgot who she put down. She did say that when they were working on the show, they were just starting to talk about the voice cast, and they were having trouble finding a good voice actor for Clay. Another thing that I'm sure you guys want to know about is how much creative control Tui exactly had for the TV show. After all, we know a lot of disasters have happened, such as, the Rick Riordan Lightning Thief movie that was absolute shambles. So One of the things we wanted to know was how much creative control Tui had. I'll let her talk about it here.
Well, it was interesting because, like, the closer it got to being real, like, the more nervous I got. Even though I will say they actually did include me a lot. And then that's because of Dan and Krista, the showrunners. Like, they really wanted me involved, and so they would let me read the scripts. I got to see the art every month, as like wherever they were up to. I don't know, like, if I had demanded changes, I'm not sure they would have made them. But there were a few things. There was one script where I was like, I feel like we've missed some of the point. Could we work on this a little more? And then we went back and forth a few times. And so that was really nice of them, really, to like include. I mean, I was an executive producer, but that can mean all kinds of things on those shows. So I think it would depend, you know, whatever the next stage is. Like, if I still have Dan and Krista, I'll feel very like, oh, I'm being included. But I talked to a different showrunner who was like, well, we might want to change things, but we would still want you. He was like, maybe you could help write the pilot. Like, maybe we would still want you like along every step of the way. So I was like, that would be kind of cool too. So I feel like what I said to them was like, I don't mind if you have to change the plot things as long as the characters still feel true.
So from Tui's answer, it looks like she didn't have complete creative control, but it's definitely encouraging to hear that the showrunners did take her opinions into account and did change the scripts based on Tui's feedback. Next, we asked what is probably one of the biggest questions that artists wanted to know about the Wings of Fire TV show. What would the art of the show look like? Unfortunately, Tui wasn't able to give a direct answer on this. She did tell us that the TV show art was beautiful and specifically, quote, more detailed than Troll Hunters, but she couldn't really say anything else in particular. But, a hero comes in who shared with me some of the Wings of Fire concept images that were leaked, and now I'll be sharing them with you all. I will note that these images were already leaked by someone else on Twitter a while ago, so I do apologize if this was already covered by another Wings of Fire YouTuber, but I couldn't find any videos actually showing the concept art, so I just wanted to share them here. So first we've got the Cave of the Dragonettes, where the Dragonettes start out. It looks like there's 2 levels here. Next we have some fires. Interestingly also there's a scale sheet. I'm gonna just zoom in on that. We've actually got models of the Dragonettes themselves here. So Sunny's the smallest, and actually Starflight is larger than Glory, it looks like. And then Clay's the biggest, which makes sense, he is a big wings. And then we've also got the size of humans comparatively, so it looks like a human comes up to about Clay's chest or so. Very cool. Another scroll, probably talking about, well, honestly I'm not sure exactly what this is talking about, probably about the Sandwing Queens. And then we have the scrolls that I think were widely leaked a while ago. They look super nice. More fires. Okay, now here's a better model of the dragons compared to the fires, and again, the scale model of the dragons compared to humans. Now we get some pictures of the Sea Kingdom, and they look really nice, I've gotta say. Lots of little colors and corals and things like that. Some designs of the Sea Wing Palace. Gotta say, I definitely prefer this version compared to the ones that we see in the graphic novels. These are stunning. Some archways, probably also... Oh yes, okay, it says Deep Sea Palace entrances here. Look at the size of a Sea Wing comparatively, so small. Compared to these huge entrances, love it. Some billboards. Okay, it says the Sea Wing Royal Stateroom, so probably, I'm guessing these are wanted posters. Probably like webs and stuff is on there. Some Sea Wing tridents. We've got another scale of how large the Sea Wing tridents are compared to an adult guard. So you can see the adult guards are a lot bigger than the dragonettes. I mean, the human came up to about Clay's chest, so Clay would probably be about this tall, and the guard is a lot bigger. More Sea Wing spears. We got the Sea Wings eating at their little banquet. This is really funny. I love the like derpy little dragon models here. But they've got some yummy seafood. I'm kind of jealous. They're probably eating sushi. I want to be eating sushi. Jeez, guys. But yeah, this is really funny. It looks really nice for a starting model. Now we're going to the Rainwing Kingdom. We can see that this is the Rainwing Royal, like, little pod, like, house area. They seem to have thought a lot about it because there's sort of like an entryway and exitway flow. Because, you know, in the books they described as there being a very long line to talk to the Queen of the Rainwings. So they're definitely thinking about a lot of things here. More of the inside, we can see the throne. Here, I'll zoom in on this. So I guess the dragons come in here, and then they can go talk to the Rainwing Queen, and then they leave out through here. Pretty neat. Another Rainwing pod. Lots of colors. This is the nursery, I think, because there's eggs here. And then we get to see a Rainwing compared to the humans. Or scavengers, as you will. Here's more views of the Rainwing Royal Pod. Now we're going into that sort of Sandwing, Icewing kingdom. This is a dragon carrying a cart of food, I believe. So this is actually an Icewing. I really like the ram horns that they've got on him. You know, don't know what they're doing with that food. Hope they're enjoying it, okay? You know, they deserve to be happy. Here we've got what's labeled as the Frozen Dunes. So this would probably be the boundary between the Ice Kingdom and the Sand Kingdom. You know, when Glory goes to talk to... she goes to sneak in with Jambu. And here's the room that Blaze is living in. So the Icewing Fortress that Queen Glacier is keeping Blaze safe inside. So we've got the tapestries behind Blaze, which was described in the book. This would be Blaze herself on her little warm throne thing. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be Glory here, but look how much smaller she is than Blaze. It's very cool to see the dragon sizes. A random Icewing. Yeah, pretty neat. Very detailed, I've got to say. It's very cool. And there's also, like, foliage over here, tapestry designs, brazier designs. Oh yeah, okay, Queen Blaze's rock throne. Very, very neat. Now we've got a couple of concepts of the Sand Kingdom, I think. And finally we have the Night Kingdom, so this would be the Nightwing Volcano. And look at the size of the dragon compared to the volcano. I really am glad that they have all these scales here. So this would be, I think, the beach of the Nightwing Kingdom. It shows how ashy and gloomy it is. Or not the Nightwing Kingdom, more so the Nightwing Island. But yeah, you can see how gloomy and ashy it is. And then finally we've got a picture of a Nightwing in the Nightwing Kingdom. And all the lava and steam and smoke. And I'm wondering if this is Marosir. I don't know. It's hard to tell. He doesn't look particularly huge, but... I mean, maybe other dragons would be tiny next to him. It's hard to say. And then the final bit of interesting news is that actually a couple days ago, a animatic of the Wings of Fire show, a leaked animatic, of course, just randomly appeared on YouTube from a burner account. I have absolutely no idea who posted it. I don't know who leaked it or anything like that. But I think it is genuine. There's been a lot of talk about whether this animatic is real or fake. Definitely the voice acting is just placeholder since, you know, as of a couple weeks ago, Tui said that they hadn't found voice actors yet. But I'm actually inclined to think that it's real because there are a couple scenes where they do show the 3D models, and Clay, the 3D model they use for Clay looks very similar to these from these leaked images. So I'm thinking that it is real, but obviously just kind of a first pass storyboard animatic. So yeah, that's honestly pretty cool. There's a lot of really interesting things about this show that's been put out. It's one of the first scenes from the very first book where the Dragonets of Destiny are sending a smoke signal to Clay as he escapes the cave. So that's everything. I know that the update on the Wings of Fire TV show unfortunately wasn't the best news. But at least it seems like Tui and the showrunners are holding out hope for it, and they do hope to eventually pitch it and release it someday. Maybe in the next few years. So we still might see a Wings of Fire TV show someday, and for now we can oogle over the amazing concept art that has been leaked. I'll finish the video now, but there's still a ton more that I learned at BossCon from talking to Tui. And I also got to read a bit of the Wings of Fire guide coming out later in October as well, so stay tuned on my channel for a video all about the awesome stuff in there. I'll be posting videos on it all in the next couple of weeks. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.